Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Yang pertama akan saya sambut Dr. Nuri Herawati, yaitu Koordinator Program Studi Magister Pengembangan Sumber Daya Manusia. Kemudian Associate Professor Dr. Khatijah Umar, yaitu Associate Professor of Management and Human Resource Management Faculty Business Economic and Social Development University Malaysia, Terengganu, Malaysia. Selamat datang saya ucapkan kepada para peserta untuk public lecture hari ini dengan topik Workshop on Writing Published Thesis. Public lecture kali ini diselenggarakan oleh Magister Pengembangan Sumber Daya Manusia, dan sebagai informasi untuk para peserta diharapkan mengisi link registrasi untuk yang belum mendaftar di awal, dan kemudian mengisi link attendance untuk mendapatkan e-sertifikat. Baik, untuk selanjutnya kita akan mulai public lecture hari ini kepada Profesor Dr. Khatijah Umar, kami persilahkan.
Terima kasih Fitri, terima kasih juga tadinya ya Dr. Nuri. Okay, and a very good afternoon to all of you. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this is my second or third time been together with UNER School of Graduate School. Yeah. Okay, so before that, let me share the screen. Okay, can everybody see my slide?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So, as the trust given to me by UNER, the topic is writing and publish a thesis, and it is only for 1 hour. Bear with me for 1 hour only. And it is actually an honor for me to be invited again and to be with UNER students and staff there also. Inshallah, I'll be in UNER personally, and maybe we will see face to face each other. Okay, so writing and publish a thesis. Okay, at first, okay, when I was given this topic, Fitri and Dr. Nuri, okay, I'm a bit confused actually. Okay, writing a published thesis, is it publishable or published? Because publishable meaning that we are not yet come up with the thesis, right? But we are in the preparation of writing a thesis. But writing a published thesis here, what I understand is that the thesis already complete, and meaning that we have the completed thesis. Then the candidates just to come up with the few articles or a few kinds of publication from that published thesis. Okay, so I think I'm not that well knowledgeable about writing a published thesis, but let me share with you. Okay, this is my a little bit about my publication for 5 years of publication. Okay, from 2017 to 2020. Okay, there are about almost 30 scopus, journal that I publish since 2017 until 2020, and then about more than 10 books, and then more than 10 book chapters, okay, and also more than 2 modules actually, because there are some modules coming soon. All right, and there are also a few awards that I received, Best Paper Award, and then Anugerah Pengajaran, Julangan Bakat, that one, Teaching and Publication, and Best Presenter Awards. Okay, that is something that I want to share with you, the audience, this afternoon. Okay, now we go to the topic for today. Okay, workshop on writing a published thesis. Okay, because I like and I love to have interactive session actually. Okay, so may I know, okay, let me go to how many participants that we have today. Okay, we have participants today. So from during my talk, okay, please interrupt. Okay, please interrupt me. If you have any question, just ask. If you have any comments, then throw it there. And then if, let's say, you want to share something with us, just feel free to do so. Okay, nggak apa-apa, yeah. And I will deliver the lecture today using two languages, English as well as Bahasa. Bahasa, that one is Bahasa Malaysia and Bahasa Indonesia. Okay, because I also know a little bit about Bahasa Indonesia. Right? All right, writing a published thesis. Okay, what you have to bear in mind that we have already a complete thesis. Okay, but actually to write something from the thesis is quite easy rather than you start something from scratch. Okay, so for today, okay, what I can share with you is that, okay, from the complete thesis, okay, we have to start with having a very good thesis. Okay, what are the components that make a good thesis? Okay, anybody here want to share with me? Okay, we share the opinions, we share the stage today, the platform today. Okay, anybody? Okay, come on.
If you want to have a good thesis,
Okay.
According to my observation, it has to have a very strong what do you call it, phenomena or a very strong phenomenon in the society,
Yeah.
and the theoretical platform to back up the certain phenomenon that you want to study and publish as your thesis.
Yes. Yes, that's good. A very good answer. Okay, anybody else? Okay, come on. We have one.
I think the good thesis is the thesis that can successfully decline the current or status quo theory.
Okay, so you related it with theory. Okay, now, okay, I don't know the scenario in Indonesia, but yes, PhD, we need to really relate to theories. Okay, every thesis, PhD thesis especially, we have to relate. We have to have the strong underpinning theory. But for master degree in Malaysia, it is encouraged for the student to relate their study to the theories and to have underpinning theories, but that is not a must, okay, in Malaysia. But in Indonesia, I'm not that familiar. But yes, okay, both answer are very good answer. Okay, we listen to one more. Anybody from ladies? Anybody want to represent ladies?
Good
Come
thesis
on.
is
Okay, good.
Good thesis if we can answer the citizen problem. Yes, like that.
Yes, usually if you want to study, there must be a problem that you want to solve, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Problem
that's
solving.
good. All the answers are very good answers. Okay, okay, so let's go to, okay, all of you have complete your thesis or not?
No.
Okay, all right, so you are on the way to complete your thesis.
Yes, on the way.
All right, so still got what ample time for us to refine our thesis. Okay, remember that if you want to come up with publications, okay, later on, make sure that you have a very good thesis. Okay, so what makes a good thesis? Okay, so now we go to this together. Okay, the one in black here are what's supposed you have in a thesis, but here is what you have to highlight. Okay, for chapter 1, okay, these are supposedly what you will have in your thesis. Okay, teraturnya, tertibnya begitu. Okay, but what are the most important items for you to highlight in chapter 1 is, of course, one, your introduction must be very general focus. Okay, then you have the background. You zoom into your setting. your setting, and your what, the issues that you want to highlight. Okay, the third one, this is the most important one, like what you have mentioned, the three of you have mentioned before, problem statement. Okay, so what are the issues that you want to solve? Okay, there, your thesis is the solution for a study, meaning that if you want to come up with a study, there must be the problems, right? Okay, problems, there are a few types of problems. Okay, one is the main problem. Okay, the main problem is represented by IV or DV? Okay, hello, IV or DV? Cannot hear you. Okay, your main problem, your main issues to be solved here, are they stated in your independent variable or dependent variable?
Independent variable.
What?
Independent.
Dependent.
Yeah,
Dependent variable. Yes, that one is the most what important problem that you have to solve. Okay, from there, okay, so that one is the most important issues you want to solve. Then you relate to issues or problems that you come from the independent variable, because actually the issues from your independent variable will constitute to the main problem of your dependent variable. So that's why chapter 1 and chapter 3 are the very important chapters. Okay, dear, remember that your throughout your thesis, pay attention to your chapter 1 and chapter 3. Chapter 1, people will look at your problem, the issues, especially under your dependent variables, because dependent variables are the main problem that you need to solve. For example, job performance. Okay, so job performance in Indonesia lately is in one of the companies in Indonesia, company AAA, for example, the job performance is found to be decreasing from month to month. So that is the main issues. Okay, what are the other issues that contribute to this main issue? Maybe job satisfaction is also found to be the contributor to the problem. Okay, what else? Besides job satisfaction, okay, maybe now job satisfaction is independent variable. Dependent variable is job performance. Okay, what are other variables that can contribute to issues in dependent variable? Okay, maybe pay and rewards, for example, or maybe workload. Okay, workload, too much workload among the employees in that company AAA was found to be the one of the contributor to the decrease of the job performance in company AAA, for example. Okay, so now you have to say the main problem, then you back up with the issues and problem from your independent variable to strengthen the problem of your dependent variable. Okay, please avoid to just mention the problem under the dependent variable, because then you just say the problem you try to highlight under dependent variable, but nothing much was said, okay, about the issues from independent variable. Okay, that is not that good. Okay, so the main issue must be from dependent variable, and other supporting issues or problems come from independent variable. Okay, then you go to what current scenario also. Yeah, what are the evergreen issues that can attract people to also be together with you to read your findings later on. Okay, so actually sometimes, okay, it is our creativity. Okay, be creative. Okay, sometimes that issues are very common issues. Ingat ya semua, kadang-kadang ianya adalah isu yang biasa-biasa saja, yang it is not the new and the new issues, and yet it what catch the attention. Okay, so be creative, yeah, in make the sentence or the paragraph that mention your problems, make them catchy. Okay, how to make it catchy? Okay, use your language. Yeah? The use of language can make your paragraph of problem statement catchy, and use of the explanation, example of the scenario. Okay, because people want to know then, and they will continue reading your problems. Okay, and then relate also your problem. Don't just focus on, let's say, in Indonesia. Okay, this problem happened in Indonesia. Okay, but now remember that later on you want to come up with the articles that the readers come from all over the world. So when you explain the problem statement, okay, yes, first zoom into your maybe your country, but then try to relate also to other countries, yeah, that have the similar situation or similar problem. Okay, so that was chapter 1. Remember that chapter 1. Pay attention to your problem statement. Okay, problem statement as well as theories also. Sorry, theories also. But no, sorry, theory is chapter 2. Yeah, really sorry. Yeah. Okay, now we go to chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2 is literature review. Okay, usually literature review. Okay, try to come up or try to have the reference from good journals, because when you have references from good journal, okay, what are the good journals? Okay, maybe Scopus, the World of Science, ISI, ESCI, or other outstanding or prominent journals like Emerald. Okay, so try to find very good journals from very good publisher. Okay, because when you have cited, okay, from these good journals, okay, it is very the possibility for you to publish in also high impact or good journal is also there. Yeah? Because sometimes your citation, your references, when you submit your article to some of the publisher, they also see your references and citation. Okay, sometimes we don't think that way, right? But yes, because I have also experienced. They didn't simply accept my paper, but they asked me to cite some of the articles from their journals. Okay, so that is one of the trick also. Yeah? So start from now. If let's say you want to publish in a very good journal, then your literature review must also come from good journals too. Okay, so what are the items, okay, in the literature review that usually we have? Okay, see here. I would suggest that you start your literature review with explaining the dependent variable. Okay, why? Because dependent variable is the main issues that you want to solve. Okay, so start with explaining dependent variable, and then close your explanation on main issues independent variable by saying, okay, for example, okay, you dah cerita pasal dependent variable job performance, blah 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 blah, and then there are, okay, you want to close that explanation. There are several factors that found to be contributing to job performance. However, this study will focus on 4 main independent variables, such as, for example, job satisfaction, workload, job stress, and pay and reward, for example. Then you zoom into explaining your independent variable then. Okay, what is the relationship between job satisfaction and job performance, and then second IV to DV, third IV to DV, fourth IV to DV. Then if you have moderating and mediating, then later you talk about that and justification for you to have that. And then while explaining those, then you will find the gap. Okay, so then after explaining those things, okay, try to explain to the readers what are the gap that you would like to fill in. Okay, to fill in the gap. Okay, and then maybe one more thing is, if you are doing the PhD, then relate all those variables with your underpinning theory. And remember that when you explain the underpinning theory, don't explain it independently. Usually don't do like this. Okay, for example, one theory you explain for job performance, one theory you explain about job satisfaction, one theory you choose to explain on job stress, for example. Don't do that. Yeah, but try to put on the framework altogether, all the variable and the independent variable and dependent variable, and find one or two theories that can tell or that can capture the whole picture of your framework. Okay, that one is the best way to do. Okay, one or two theory that can explain your framework. Okay, so far, is there any question or is there any word? Maybe somebody want to share their experience before. And if let's say you want to ask question, I would like you to ask verbally, because I don't like to click here and read the chat. Okay, is it fine with you? Because I think there is chat also. Is there any question so far?
I have a question.
Okay, come on. Yes.
I want to rewind back to chapter 1 on building the case or building the thesis. When I'm constructing my current thesis, I constructed it from the framework of reading other people's undergraduate thesis and their suggestions. Can I build my thesis from the suggestions from other people's
Yes, of course. The answer is 100% yes, because that you don't have to have the problem to be solved so that you can come up with a study. Okay, once you read the journal, for example, you find that okay, there is one journal that recommend the readers to do this study. So yes, that is a bonus for you. Okay, so from that, okay, you can just come up with the study and make it your own study to be completed as a PhD thesis or master thesis. So the answer is yes, you can do that. All right.
My second question.
Yeah.
The thesis that I am trying to build is the suggestions from a couple of my friends' undergraduate thesis. Is it okay to build from that too, or should I build my
from undergraduate thesis? You mean what final year project? Final year project of undergraduate study?
Yes, in Indonesia.
All right, sorry. Okay, if let's say recommended from the journal, of course, that especially it is outstanding or prominent journal, it is of course you can just continue with your study. Okay, justification is that you follow the recommendation from the journal. But if let's say it is from the recommendation or from the undergraduate study, you have to study first. You have to really go through it thoroughly. Okay, and if let's say you found that it is worth for you to further investigate or further do the study, then okay. Okay, but sorry, yeah, my understanding there, the first my previously I thought that it is from a recommendation from the journal, but if undergraduate study, I'm not saying that it is not good, but you please read the thesis, the undergraduate thesis, and if let's say there is the gap for you and there is something that you can highlight in from that thesis, then it's okay. It's okay then. Yeah. We don't say that you cannot, yeah, because sometimes, okay, this what I personally say, yeah, sometimes I found that undergraduate thesis is much better than master thesis sometimes, but not all the time. So to say that you cannot do that, that is not fair. Yeah, but what is what I would suggest that you go through it thoroughly, okay, and then try to make some justification and try to ask your supervisor, your potential supervisor too, and then if let's say it is worth for you to continue with the study, then okay. Because as I mentioned before, okay, some of undergraduate theses, they're much better than master students thesis. Yeah? All right, so we go to the next one. Okay, what are, chapter 3. Chapter 3, okay, remember that what I told you, these are what you have to have in your chapter 3. Yeah? But this is what you have to pay much attention. Okay, research design and justification. Don't just follow what your friends just did. Okay, I choose quantitative study because most of my friends did that. Oh no, that is not a good answer. Okay, so you have a strong justification or why to come up with the quantitative and qualitative. The population too. Okay, you have to really have justification why these are the population that I need to choose, because sometimes, okay, for example, job performance, for example, the population can be among the managers, the population can be among the lower level managers, or can be the ordinary staff of the company, but you have to have the strong justification which population you want to take then. Okay, it depends on your framework, it depends on your problem statement that you have written in your chapter 1. Then a sampling technique. Is it the probability or non-probability? Don't be afraid to use non-probability technique. Okay, if let's say your study really suitable to use non-probability technique. Okay, non-probability technique, for example, convenience sampling, that is non-probability, but it is not wrong for you. It is not to say not good for you to use convenience sampling or purposive sampling. Yeah, because as long as the sampling technique that you have chosen really suitable or appropriate to be chosen based on your research design as well as your measurement and your problem statement that you have highlighted, and sample size and how you decide for the sample size. Okay, so that one must be clearly explained in your chapter 3. Okay, because as the examiner, if I am the examiner, I will look at that point also. Okay, sample your population, your sample size, and how you come up with your sample size, not just follow the Craigie and Morgan, for example, because actually different study can apply different technique of deciding for the sample size. You can use table from Craigie and Morgan. You can use rule of thumb. You can use G power. Okay, so there are a few choices for you to decide at the end what are the sample size that appropriate for you to be used in your study. And then measurement. Okay, measurement, please, if you use the established measurement, please explain from whom. Okay, and I don't say that if you use the established measurement you are safe enough. No. Okay, sometimes you have to modify here and there. Okay, measurement used in the Western countries may not be the same, yeah? Or may not be that appropriate to 100% use in our setting, the Eastern countries. Yeah. So here, when you use a measurement, you choose the measurement, make sure that it really fit your study. Okay, because some of the established measurement need to be refined, yeah, or need to be adjusted, adopted and adapted here and there. Okay, and then one more thing that students or PhD or master candidates always what miss is that data collection process. You have to really tell the story, yeah? How you collect the data from A to Z. Okay, A, what is A? From you build your questionnaire, then you ask for ethical consent, yeah? And then you go to the the company or the setting to ask the permission. Okay, so that one you have to really tell the story completely. Okay, so that why it is important, because it can be replicated by other researchers in the future. Okay, so data collection process, please don't miss to explain that and to make it one of the subsection in your thesis. And of course, data analysis, what kind of data that you want to use in your chapter 4. Okay, maybe some analysis for descriptive analysis. What are the analyses that you will use? For inferential analysis, what kind of methods or approach that you will use for you to explain your inferential analysis result later on? Okay. Okay, next is chapter 4. Okay, result, just the result. Okay, no no further explanation, because that one will be in your discussion. Okay, chapter 5 later on. Okay, but what is more important in chapter 4 is that make sure that you have the correct analysis. Okay, and the analysis you have must you must have the analysis for every hypothesis that you have set up before, or you have the analysis for the research objective that you have set before. Okay, so don't miss any single analysis that relate to your hypothesis or your research objective. Okay, and this one discussion and conclusion sometime. Okay, some of the readers they love this part. Okay, what are the items that you have to have in chapter 5? Of course, introduction, discussion, contribution, practical and theoretical. Okay, implication of study, limitation, suggestion for future research, and summary. That one is the important components that you must have in the chapter 5. Okay, but as the student, you have to interpret and discuss the result. Okay, be critical. Okay, be critical meaning that you have to come up with the argument. Okay, don't just compare your result with previous result, but what did I find? What did I not find? And what is difference? What makes my study different? My study's result different from other result, and what caused that differences? Okay, if you are able to tell that, readers will eager to read your chapter 5. Okay, and this actually can help you also to write article journal or journal articles to be submitted in quite prominent journals. Because if, let's say, your discussion just comparing your result with previous result is quite common and it's quite boring. But if you want to tell the readers, okay, I found something different, why? But if I found something similar, why? Okay, why? The why there is always, you have to make why there as the key word for your chapter 5. Okay, speak your mind. Okay, is another advice from me. Okay, speak your mind meaning that, okay, use your mind, use your thinking, use your creativity, okay, to discuss your findings and to relate it, your findings with the findings of the previous researchers. Okay, because there must be something that exciting or something that is interesting from your own study. Okay, so try to have this in your thesis, because when you have this, it will help you a lot in writing or in drafting articles to be submitted to journals later on. Okay, don't just compare your article, your result and previous result. Okay, similar or not similar, yeah? But why is it similar? Why is it similar? What did I find? But then I never expect that this is the finding that I will come up with. Okay, so that is the good part, if let's say you can do that in your thesis. All right, so we have completed the thesis now, right? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yes, now we have a complete thesis. We have chapter 1 until chapter 5. Now, what we do? What can you publish based on your published thesis then? What can you publish? Of course, most of the students, they eager to write a journal article, right? Okay, so what comes to their mind is to come up with the article journal article kan. Saya nak tulis journal, okay, jurnal. Tapi sebenarnya kita boleh dapat lebih dari itu. Okay, let me okay, test you then. Okay, if let's say I give you this one, okay, whoever can see this and whoever wish to interact with me, then okay, you are please feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, let's say we have this kind of framework. Okay, employee performance. Sorry, because I'm from HR field. Okay, so employee performance, job satisfaction, intention to leave. Those are some of the variables, the common variables, for our field. Okay, so employee performance, dependent variable, reward, fairness, work environment. Okay, the independent variable, and the moderator is job satisfaction. Okay, Fatu Rozi. Okay, can you listen to me? Fatu Rozi, okay. Okay, can you guess how many articles you can come up with this framework? How many articles? 1, 2 to satisfy. Then you satisfied with that?
I think it's more than 3 because they have more than 1 factors that will be discovered, and
yes,
that will be the substantial for the research.
Yes, very good. Yeah, Faturazi. Okay, more than 3. So meaning that, okay, minimum is 3. Okay, but can you believe me that if I say that you can come up with 15 to 20 articles from this framework? Yes or no?
I think it's possible because
yes,
we can match with a lot of factors. Yes.
Yes, okay. So if let's say you are PhD or master students, okay, and later on you want to venture into a career of being a docent, or before that maybe you want to apply for postdoc, because postdoc, if you want to apply for postdoc in Malaysia, we will see the publication. The number of publication is #1 criteria that we will look at. Okay, so here be creative. Okay, we have, let's say our aim is to submit articles in Scopus. Scopus only, Scopus, yeah. Okay, Scopus we have Q1 until Q4. Okay, so the simple one you send to Q3 and Q4, but those who are quite complicated, you send them to Q1 and Q2. Okay, here, for example, let's say now we have 3 independent variables, 1 moderator and 1 dependent. First one, you can just write on the direct effect of reward and fairness, but don't just take only one, but you can, but most of the journals, they don't accept, they hardly accept, if you only write an article using 1 IV and 1 DV. That one is very simple, okay, but you can try that to the where the journal that is not Scopus, not WOS, not ISI, you can, the what journal yang biasa-biasa aja gitu, ya. Nah, but then try to write at least 2 independent variable. Okay, our paper number 1. Okay, we will talk about reward and fairness and its relationship with employee performance. One paper. Second paper, reward and work environment, direct effect with employee performance. 2 papers. Fairness and work environment and its direct effect to employee performance. 3 papers. Reward, fairness, work environment, direct effect to employee performance. 4 papers. 4 papers already. And then reward, fairness, our paper number 5 is the moderating effect of job satisfaction on the relationship between reward, fairness, work environment on employee performance. Okay, so that one is 5 already. Yeah? But what else that you want to come up with? Okay, so another paper, the moderating effect of job satisfaction between the reward and fairness only. Can reward and fairness to job employee performance. Then moderating effect of fairness, work environment to employee performance. So that is your creativity. Creativity, how you can create more papers. Okay, then maybe for Q3 and Q4, maybe you can come up with the papers that only explain or discuss the descriptive analysis, the mean, and the direct effect maybe, and the percentage maybe. And you can come up also with a paper that only on demographic and how the demographic affect the independent variable and dependent variable. So actually it is our creativity, how creative we are to come up with how many papers. Okay, so that's why it is not surprising. Okay, when I heard that my friend at USM, from her thesis, she came up with almost 40 articles. Okay, that is only articles, articles. But what else can we come up with our published thesis? Not just journals, journals of course. What else can we turn our thesis into books? Okay. Into books, maybe your article, your study is about job performance. So maybe you can make the job performance as the main title. Okay, or maybe the moderating effect of job satisfaction. Okay, so maybe your published thesis there, you can come up with 2 or 3 books. Monograph is very simple. Okay, monograph is you just simplify your thesis. Okay, and if I would like to share with you, okay, once I completed my PhD study, because actually I did not start my career with becoming dosen, saya asalnya bukan dosen, jadi saya bekerja sebagai karyawan di Terengganu Foundation, and I only venture into the career as a docent where at the age of 35. All right, so at the age of 40, I did my PhD. Once I completed my PhD, at that time, journal article is not a must. It's not a requirement, or it is not yes, it is not a must for us to as the requirement to graduate. Yeah, so I come up with monograph. Okay, here is the monograph, very simple one. Yeah, monograph. Why? Only about 53 pages only. Yeah, but it is from my thesis. Okay, you just simplify. Okay, because a monograph actually is the simplified form of the your own thesis. Your thesis is about 200 something, maybe 300 something pages, yeah, but turn it into monograph. Okay, so when it get published, then it will motivate you to write more. Okay, so then but now at this particular time, one of the requirement for the student to graduate is you have to publish, right? So if let's say you don't have the thesis yet, please come up with the concept paper, or we call that systematic literature review. Okay, systematic literature review, many of the journal, including Q1 and Q2, they accept systematic literature review or concept paper. Concept paper, if you want to submit to Q1 and Q2, make sure that your problem statement is strong, your justification is strong, your theory also strong. Okay, and then it is there are several issues that need to be solved. Okay, and try to make them written in a very attractive language. Okay, so actually don't worry if let's say you still do not finish your thesis, you can still publish now, but start with concept paper. Okay, a proposal from your proposal, that one, a concept paper, or you can do a systematic literature review. Systematic literature review is a much thorough, okay, literature review. Okay, or if let's say you still do not complete your thesis, but you have the pilot test already, so use your pilot test to write an article to be submitted to journal. Okay, and I would suggest that try to submit your article to high impact journal, Scopus journal, WOS journal, okay, ISI. Okay, if let's say you want to try, yes, you are encouraged to try too, yeah? But for concept paper or maybe the article with only pilot study result, I may encourage you to submit your journal to maybe Q3 to Q4. But if let's say you have very good style, of writing, okay, then try to also submit to Q1 or Q2. Okay, so don't worry if you still do not finish or writing your thesis, you still actually can write. Okay. Okay, critic, review, opinions. This one is not the academic one, yeah. But of course, yeah, for your purpose, for the purpose of graduating, maybe you can start writing articles for maybe Scopus, yeah. But even though without result, okay. Okay, so far, is there any question? Okay, now let me go to, because we have only 1 hour, yeah? My dear students, okay, dear all, we have only 1 hour. Okay, let me share with you some of the international journals. Okay, so Web of Science, Scopus, ISI, ESCI. Okay, so there are some others. Okay, European countries, impact factor journals. Okay, but you can also try to non-index but meaningful. But yeah, if let's say your university require you to have one publication from Scopus or ISI or Web of Science, So please stick to this journal. Okay, don't go to non-index, because what fill up your you have to fill the requirement. So make sure that you publish in the journal that your university requires you to publish. Okay. Okay, what makes it different? Okay, what makes it different? What? Okay, international journal. Okay, for example, Scopus. Okay, we just take Scopus lah, Scopus. So what makes Scopus journal and our journal from our own country a bit different? Okay, so Malaysia actually, we have also Malaysian journals, and some of them Scopus and some not Scopus, and some of them WOS, some not. Okay, so what makes it different? Okay, because it is international standard and from international perspective. And then these journals also, they have specific requirements. Okay, and make sure that if you want to submit the articles, okay, even though to Scopus, but Scopus Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, different requirement. And among the journal Q3 or Q4, they also have their own requirement. So don't just assume that Scopus journals practice the same practice. No. Okay, so every journal you have to study the requirement, because every journal got the specific requirement. Okay, because if let's say we don't meet the requirement, okay, it will be then automatically rejected. Okay, some of the rejected articles because they didn't meet the requirement of the journal. Okay, again, then scope and focus. Okay, study the journal carefully. Okay, even though sometimes the journal say, okay, this is multidisciplinary journal, but you have to go one by one. Okay, if it is multidisciplinary journal, then what are the scope and focus? Go and study, make some homework, because it might be that your topic don't really fit into their scope and focus. When your article don't fit in their scope and focus, automatically it will be rejected. Okay, and then audience also is different. Okay, if you are writing a journal to international journal, now your audience is come from every part of the globe. Format also, okay, and then language. Okay, of course, language is English. Okay, and if let's say you don't want to send for the proofread, English proofread, make sure that it must be read by your friends who are good in English, and not just once, but twice or maybe 3 times. Okay, and feel free to let your friends who are good in English to read them. Maybe 3 to 5 friends, to read your articles before you submit your article to the journal. Okay, bear in mind that top journals rejection rate is high. Okay, and I would like to share with you also, our university, we have JSSM. It is one of the Scopus and WOS also. And last time Q3, and in I think now some 2 and 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. But the rejection rate is quite high. Okay, less than 50% accepted. Okay, that is JSSM. And bear in mind that there will be 3 to 4 or more rounds of revision. You need to revise, but don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah, as long as it is accepted, keep on doing the correction. Okay, and then quite long journey to get published, of course. So that's why if let's say you are required to publish 1 or 2 journals for the for you to graduate, as a requirement for you to graduate, start from now. Okay, so try concept paper is okay. Concept paper, or much better is systematic literature review. Okay, And costly because of time, effort, and money. Yes, some of the Q1 and Q2, they also ask us to pay sometimes quite high sum, a lot of money. Okay, what else? Some tips that might help. Okay, because now we have only 3 minutes, because actually before this I assume that we have 2 hours, but 1 hour. Yeah, so some of the items we have to skip, but don't worry, I will pass the slide, okay, to the committee, or maybe to what, Fitri or Dr. Nuri, so that the slides can be shared with you. Okay, so now can I have a few questions, or do you have any question before we stop at 3?
I have a question.
Okay.
I think I go back to the beginning of chapter 2 that you mentioned about the journal for the citation. So my question are, how do we know that that there is the right journal that we can use for the citation? Or is there any characteristic for the right journal that we can use for the citation? Because I see a lot of journal in the internet, but I'm not sure which one is the right journal that can be used for the citation.
All right. You can always check. Okay, you copy the link, or you copy the title of the journal. Okay, and check in Shimago. Okay, Shimago. But if let's say the journal, okay, terang-terangan di situ, okay, this is Elsevier or maybe Emerald, okay, Sage, okay, so that one is also can be considered as very good journals, okay, because it is not that easy for you to be for your article to be published in Emerald, for example, okay. So you can for Scopus, you can always check using Shimago, copy the name of the journal, okay. But some of the journals are the predatory journals. That one sometimes can be also taken as the references or citation, but not much. Okay, you can have a few from them. But don't make it almost majority of your citation come from them. Okay, is it you, Sonia or Fabi? Which one do
Fabi.
call you?
Fabi.
Fabi, sorry, Fabi. You are the one who asked the question?
Yes.
Okay. So actually, we the academician also found that it is quite hard for us to find whether to tell whether this journal is predatory journal or not. Okay, because sometimes we get confused, and then we also being cheated also, even though we are the academician. Okay, so that one is no good answer for that. But what we can do is that we can always check, using Shimago. But if let's say Emerald, okay, Elsevier, that one is fine, very fine. Okay, Fabi, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more question? Okay, but don't worry, I will pass this one, this methodology, this slide. Okay, all right. Okay, but if let's say you have any question, okay, this is my email. Okay, this is my email. You can just email me. Okay. Inshallah, I will, if I got time, or when I go to my email and during my free time, I always, usually I will always attend the emails. Okay, and if let's say you have any question later on, feel free to contact me. And okay, before I end up this session, and I pass to
I'm Hisham, your student from UMT.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question before you end up ending. Okay. Practically, which one would be much more practical in terms of writing the chapters? There's 5 chapters that you have been describing just now. Can we actually do it simultaneously, or would it be much more practical to start after we have finished the previous chapters?
Oh, okay. Actually, for me, okay, you don't have to start one chapter one by one, but actually that one, chapter 1, what's supposed to be in chapter 1, but it is good for you if, let's say, sometimes the idea come anywhere and at any time, right? Okay, sometimes when you are doing literature review, for example, and you come across the friend, and your friend is talking about methodology, so it will give you ideas. Oh, this is the method that I have to use. So you go to chapter 3 and write some of the ideas or some points for your chapter 3. Okay, the one that I gave you just now, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, that one is just the guideline for you. Okay, for chapter 1, what you have to have, what must you have for chapter 1, chapter 2, what must you have in chapter 2 until chapter 5. Okay, but in reality, okay, it is better for you to work simultaneously, especially chapter 1 until chapter 3. Chapter 1, chapter 3, but chapter 4 and chapter 5, you cannot, okay, you cannot start chapter 5 if, let's say, you don't have your chapter 4 yet. But chapter 1, 2, and 3, you can work on that simultaneously, okay, because actually they have the link among them. And sometimes, as I told you before, we sometimes get the idea, at any time, anywhere, out of suddenly we got from Wahyu, itu tak disangka-sangka kan. So it's also this is my personal opinion. It's not good if we just try to focus one chapter by chapter. Okay, dah siap chapter 1, only then go to chapter 2. No, because sometimes, okay, when you do chapter 1, from the idea, from the things, or from the points that you discuss in chapter 1, it gives you the idea for the next chapter, or maybe chapter 3, or maybe even chapter 5. Again, chapter 5, sometimes, oh, this, if you read the article, it can be recommendation. Oh, you taruh dulu kat situ. Okay, this might be my recommendation. If, let's say, it suits, if it does not suit, then I can just delete. So that is my answer for your question. Okay, thank you, my dear student. Tak on camera. Kalau tidak, saya boleh nampak you. Siapa dia ni? Okay, so before I end, okay, this one I would borrow what has been said by, okay, sorry if I mispronounce the name, Pramodya Ananta Toy. Okay, sorry kalau saya tersilap membaca namanya. Tapi di sini sangat bagus sekali Maknanya dia kata orang boleh pandai setinggi langit, tapi selama ia tidak menulis, ia akan hilang di dalam masyarakat dan dari sejarah menulis adalah bekerja untuk keabadian. Walaupun kita bukanlah academician, we are not academician, and even though for example, we have completed our thesis, then we have come up with the journal, and we don't intend to be a docent, we don't intend to be academician, but from the thesis, actually, we can share something with the community, we can share something with masyarakat out there. So you tulis dari segi apa untuk kita share our findings with masyarakat, with our community there. Okay, in terms of not in book chapter, not book, not monograph, not article, but maybe yes, your critic paper, your just a short or brief talk. Jadi kita kata apa ni, rencana, kalau dalam bahasa Melayu ni di sini rencana yang kalau kita hanya share our understanding or our knowledge with kebanyakan masyarakat di luar Tapi kalau journal dan monograph itu hanya untuk among academician mostly bukan academician, bukan pelajar, they don't really read journals, ya. Tapi untuk keabadian, there are so many types of publication that we can contribute to our masyarakat, with our community, because actually hidup kita bukan hanya untuk dunia universitas, ya. Hidup kita hanya untuk juga masyarakat, ya. Jadi ilmu kita juga perlu di-share dengan community kita, ya. Itu yang mahu saya sharekan di sini, so that kita jadikan ilmu itu untuk sama-sama kita kongsi, bukan hanya among academician, cendekiawan, tetapi untuk to all people from all walks of life. Yeah. So I pass the mic. Okay, Fabi, bye bye, and all of you too. Okay, I just mention Fabi because I see her face now. Okay, I pass back to you, Fitri or Dr. Nuri. Thank you very much. Then, sorry, exceed the time 7 minutes. Safri, hi.
It's okay, Prof. Khatijah.
Okay.
Sebenarnya untuk sesi Q&A ini
masih ada.
Ya, ini we still have the time. We still have the time.
Because I was told that 1 hour only.
Yeah, 1 hour. 1 hour is your lecture.
Okay, all right. So 1 hour lecture. Okay, so meaning that we still got time. Okay, sorry dear all, I misunderstood that one. Jadi kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan, kita masih boleh ya bersoal jawab, Nen. Kalau bukan untuk publication pun mungkin yang berkaitan dengan dunia pendidikan, dunia kita sebagai pelajar, ya. Boleh juga di-sharekan di sini, ya. Dan bukan hanya saya yang bercakap, mungkin ada soalan yang perlu dijawab oleh Fabi mungkin, ya. Mungkin ada soalan yang mau dinanyain sama Fabi, ya. Okay.
Hello, Prof. Before in your presentation, you mentioned about mediator.
Mediator.
Can you explain it when we will use that moderation, the factor for variable?
Okay, moderator. Okay, this one is also I confused. Okay, if let's say some of the study come up with the inconsistent findings. Okay, some of the study inconsistent finding. I think that one we use mediator. Okay, but this one I also got confused. Nanti saya akan itu pada kamu semula ya, Herma. I got the explanation kan in my notes. Okay, tapi kan sebab lama tidak study gitu juga kan. Okay, but there are some justification. Okay, Herma, you can just email me. Okay, email me, but one katijah@umt.edu.my. Okay, so moderator, if let's say that one I don't want to give you the answer that will confuse you. Yeah, so Herma, can we just later on I email you? Yeah?
Okay, Prof. Thank you so much.
Karena saya takut saya memberi ajaran yang salah. Karena saya juga terconfuse kadang-kadang. Ya. Okay, just email me. Just email me at this email and remind me. Okay, I will send you the material on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome, Herma. You are Herma, right?
Yes, my name is Herma. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any more question? Because we still got some times. Okay, really sorry because that one is my I misunderstood that one.
I have questions.
Yeah, who's that? Who's that?
I'm Fatur Roldi.
Yeah.
Yes. My question is are there limitations for the resource of journal? Because I've heard that some publishers required the resource for the paper from the newest or the latest journals.
Yes.
So is there some requirement about that? Okay.
Yes. Okay. The requirement is that you have to refer to the latest 5 years. Okay, but not 100%. Okay. So if let's say you have 20 references for the articles that you want to write. Okay, 20 references. Maybe 70%. You got the reference from 2016 until to 2021. That one is okay. Yeah, and you got also maybe 10 okay, let's say 15, okay, 5 journals from 1998, for example, 1979. That one is not wrong. Sometimes those are the most referred journal, or the journal or the article that was written by the founder of the theory or the founder of the concept, for example. So we still can have that one. Yeah? But it is not good, or maybe your article will be rejected if, let's say, out of all the references that you have, 80% are outdated. So here you will receive a comment. Please use most recent references. Okay. So actually, it's not to say that 100% of the articles you have to use the latest 5 years. Yeah. But if the majority of your references use the latest 5 years, then it's okay. Okay, because some of the outdated articles, that is the what we call that evergreen articles, that what most of the researchers, most of the writers, most of the authors always referred to. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I hope
for
I answer your question.
Yes. Thank you for the insight, Prof.
Okay, most
Hatija.
welcome. Okay, any more question? Or anybody want to share their experience, okay, doing the proposal, okay, or maybe now you are in the process of completing your thesis. What are the problems that you are facing? Is it motivation problem or what? Okay, we can share here. And it's not necessarily that I am the one who will answer your question. Sometimes your question can be answered by your colleagues or your classmates or your friends too, right? Because sometimes it's good, yeah, for us to share with our friends what the experience that we are going through. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Any more? Maybe any more sharing? Fitri, you want to share something?
Yeah. I think we still have the time, 10 menit, Prof. But if there isn't anyone here to ask the question,
yeah,
we can.
We can just stop the session.
Yes, because
all right.
Dr. Nuri.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I will make a summary for our meeting today. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Our summary today's discussion, first about the first chapter, introduction chapter, explain about the research gap and how to solve the problem. And then the second chapter, the most important is find the theory that capture your research model, not only describe your variable that you use. And the third step, or chapter 3, discuss about the research design, sampling technique, measurement, data collection, and data analysis. And then about result and finding, make sure our result, our finding related to or answer the research question and hypothesis. And the last chapter about the discussion and conclusion. That's about implication, contribution for our research. And about publication, ini menyenangkan saudara. Saya rasa Prof. Khotijah sudah bisa memberikan banyak hal yang membuat kita optimis, because we can identification that our thesis framework produce many papers to publish in journal, and we can publish in other publication like books, book chapter, monograph, review, opinions in newsletter, critic, and so on. I think that's all, Mr. Khotijah, Mbak Fitri. Thank you so much, Prof. Khotijah.
Ya, sama-sama.
Ditunggu di Surabaya.
Thank you to all of you
untuk para peserta.
Selamat berbuka puasa juga.
Next agenda, Prof. Khotijah akan memberikan public lecture tanggal 8 Mei.
8
untuk agenda selanjutnya. Ya.
Ya.
Saya rasa semua mahasiswa akan menunggu public lecture dari Prof. Khotijah lagi.
Oke. Itu apa topiknya? Saya sudah lupa.
Ya, nanti saya kirim flyernya lagi.
Human Resource Development, Prof. Khotijah.
Nanti Fitri saya akan emailkan atau mungkin saya WhatsApp aja nih material untuk distributed to the students, okay? Because some parts I don't have much time to explain. Okay?
Yes, okay. Nanti saya sampaikan. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih semua.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.